Hey, what's up guys, it's MugenLord here. Yes, today we're going to be talking about or revisiting the topic of how Western developers depict female characters versus how Eastern developers depict female characters. The reason why I want to revisit this is because there's been a lot of debate ever since I made that video. The video's still getting a ton of views right now, and people are going back and forth. You have one side saying that you guys are just insecure man babies. If you're a woman that don't like it, you're a self-hater, and you know, self-misogyny, or whatever you want to call it, racist, homophobic, all the buzzwords you can name. And we also consider conspiracy theorists, that there's no conspiracy going on, that they're not taking femininity and bastardizing it and just taking female characters and just making them look ugly as fuck. And then you have our side, who's always been calling this stuff out. Well, apparently we finally have people on the opposite end starting to realize that something may be going on here. Now, this person is getting very close. They still won't admit that it's something like, they still don't want to admit it or give us the say that we're right about this, but now they're starting to see that, hey, something is going on. Is because this specific person is starting to notice what they're doing to black women and black characters in video games. So before we even dive into this video, make sure you hit the subscribe button, the notification bell for more gaming content here on this channel. This is very interesting because now the chickens has finally come home to roost, and hopefully that this is a wake-up call for some of these people on the other side, so they can start seeing this and start calling this shit out themselves. Because we've been saying it for a very long time. So what am I talking about here? We're going to go on Twitter because it all started on Twitter. And in fact, this person actually made a rebuttal to my video, or to the video that I placed on his Twitter or his X profile and everything. So this person is called Del Walker. I don't know much about Del Walker. I'm not sure if this person's in the industry or anything. But this person, this individual, started noticing that something is going on. And since this person, and Del Walker happens to be black, this person is taking more, notice to it because it's happening to his own people. So we're going to dive into it right now. This tweet is the thing that got my attention because I was scrolling and it popped up. I believe Grums had shared it or something like that. Can't remember, or was it Jean? I think she shared it. Not sure, but shout outs to Jean. So Del Walker said, "I'm not talking about mild changes. I'm talking about pose, aura, style, softness, age, flair. I hate giving Gamergate men fuel." And this is the thing. This is what this is all about. This person is on the cusp, is on the precipice of now seeing this and acknowledging this, while at the same time fighting themselves to not acknowledge what we've been saying. Not acknowledging what they don't want to give the anti-woke side any type of credit for calling us out for the very long time. But we're going to move on. But it's very difficult to pitch beautiful or vain black women in games without them coming back like grocery store aunties. Now, this person is being nice. He's saying grocery store aunties instead of saying butt-ass ugly. I'm going to say it for you. Butt-ass ugly black women. That's what this person wants to say, but want to dance around it. And I'm not going to dance around it. We've been saying this for a very long fucking time. And this person said there is room for both. Now, I will agree with Del Walker. There's nothing wrong. I'm not saying that butt-ass ugly characters or aesthetically unattractive characters, especially female characters, aren't allowed to exist. I've never said that, and I don't think, and it seemed like some people get that messaging confused or whatever like that, because I never said that. There is room for both. But what we're starting to see is an overcorrection. We're just starting to see beautiful, aesthetically pleasing female characters get erased altogether, and now we're getting nothing but grocery store aunties, quote unquote, now. So now the thing that really got me the most is that when you click on and to his tweet to continue this, Del Walker had said, "There's been a handful of times I pitched black women characters that look like this, what you see, beautiful black woman that you see right here. Then after 10 iterations, the concept or model comes back without a speck of the original beauty I pitched." This person sees this. Del Walker is noticing this. But Del Walker won't acknowledge that there's something actually going on that our side, the anti-woke side, has been saying for the longest. This person, he's on to something. He just got to take that step farther a bit more and dive into it and everything. And so he's starting to notice that. And I've been saying it, and we've all been saying it, that no, this is being purposely done. There's no way in the world that you can take beautiful looking characters or take a beautiful looking model, send it to them, And the next thing you know, after it comes out and the final model look like fucking shit. It looks like the bottom of my foot or something like that. And it's unexcusable. So yes, I did post my video. Did post my videos to show that, yo, there is something going on. It's not just happening to the black women, but it's also happening to all the women. But we more specifically going to talk about black women in this case, because I want to talk about this is because, yes, even though that it's happening to all the female characters, I'm going to be keeping real with you. When it comes to this whole thing that they're trying to do to female characters, and they're just trying to erase femininity and beauty and sex appeal altogether, when it comes to female characters, it's definitely hitting black characters the most. You look at all the characters, and we talked about it before, but every time you look at every single black character, female character that they post, they get them in they put them in the most horrible light, the most horrible details as possible. They make them look as hideous as possible. And I've always been saying this. I've been saying this for a very long time. April O'Neil and the Ninja Turtles movie and everything. And of course, the Far Cry games. I've been saying this. We've been saying this for a very long time. And I always keep showing how Eastern developers depict black female characters and just female characters in general. But if we're talking about black characters for a second, the black female characters are represented and drawn up and designed really aesthetically pleasing, and it looks really nice. But Western developers, this is what they're doing, and now Del Walker's is finally seeing it. It's seeing something that we've been saying for a very long time. And the thing that I really appreciate about this from Del Walker, and even though Del Walker and I may not have the same political beliefs, maybe on opposite ends of the culture war, we still have something that we agree on. And that's the thing that I try to preach here on this channel. Instead of us keep fighting each other, going at each other's throats and stuff, we may have more things in common than we think, but we spend so much time just yelling and screaming past one another, we're not noticing those commonalities that we do have. Now, this is something that really got me when it came to Del Walker, that I definitely agree with, and we're both have different beliefs and everything. This is what he said, and this is something I've been preaching to you guys on my channel. He said, eventually I will make my own game studio and never complain again, but for now I have Wi-Fi on this flight and will eventually vent relentlessly. Del Walker fucking get it. He said it. He has the answer. He has the answer I've been saying here on this channel for a very long time. He said, eventually I will make my own game studio and never complain again. That's what I want to see. This is what you guys should be doing. Instead of bitching and complaining about the things that you don't like, about how everything is woke all the time, then you need to take your money, put your money where your mouth is, and either support studios, or especially the independent, the indie space, support these places that are providing the entertainment and everything that you want and need for your entertainment. Or you shut the fuck up and you take your money and you build your own shit, and then you can do whatever the fuck you want to do. And this right here, and this message, even though I have a diverse viewership, I have black viewers, white viewers, Asians, and everything like that, this right here, this moment and this piece right here, I'm speaking to my black audience right now, and I want the white audience and everybody else to hear me out with this. Now, when it comes to representation, because the blackness of MugenLord, society that you never really see or whatever like that too often, you about to get a taste of it to my non-black audience or whatever like that. And I'm going to be real with you. Now, the thing is, representation, I don't really care about being represented in properties or whatever like that, in movies and Hollywood. I don't care. As long as the worlds are good, stories and the characters are appealing, sign me up or whatever like that. But when it does come from representation, when it comes from Hollywood and how we are depicted like shit. We are, and I'm going to be honest with you, these game companies, and this is why I keep telling you that this whole wokeness and this diversity and inclusion, they don't give a shit about us. Now, I'm talking to my black brothers and sisters that's in this audience. They never gave a shit about us. They never did. They're going to represent us how they see us in society and how they view us in society. And I've been saying this for a very long fucking time. Stop going to these corporations, and most of these corporations, we're going to be honest here, especially here in the West, are owned by white people. These are white corporations. These white corporations are going to dictate how they want to represent us, and we keep taking crumbs and celebrating the crumbs that these white corporations give us and my people and everything. We always celebrate when Disney, when it came to Ariel, we had a black Ariel. We get hand-me-downs and we celebrate over it. Oh, we finally being represented. I can see myself and whatever like that. These are white corporations that's pretty much doing all the dictating and representing us the way they want to represent us. And then, of course, Marvel, when Black Panther came out, black people celebrating about Wakanda, a fictional place that do not fucking exist, but celebrating Wakanda as if we have ownership over Wakanda and everything. And Wakanda is made by white people, but made by a white studio. We have no ownership and no control. So stop going to these studios. That's why it's crazy how we have Sweet Baby Inc. It's crazy how we have Black Girl Gamers, and we have all these different places where they're trying to force themselves into these corporations and try to force themselves to represent us. And here's the deal. They're never going to represent us the way we want to represent us. And I say this to my black audience. If you want to be represented as a people, as black men and black women, in order for you to get the right representation that you want, since you want representation that much, you need to go out and create your own shit. Stop bitching and complaining, and stop getting on your knees, and stop begging these corporations to accept you and validate you and put you in their stuff. If they don't want to include you in anything, then create your own shit or whatever like that. Go to the side, create your own shit. Do your own thing and appeal to a market where people are willing to support what you do. Stop going to these corporations, because what you're doing is you're going to these corporations and now you're changing the whole dynamic. You're changing the whole industry to try to appease you, but in the process, you're not getting represented correctly. And what I like right here from Perpetual Vanessa Brainrot, she has a picture right here. She says, "We all gotta do it ourselves, man. I'm doing it too. I base my main character's design off of Nigerian women, and she will maintain that beauty at all costs." So look at this. This is a beautiful black woman. I would die to see a video game character or a badass black female character who looks this fucking sexy, this fucking beautiful. You don't see this. You do not see black women in this light. It's because they don't want to see us like this. And this is what I'm talking about. All my non-black viewers, I'm keeping it real with y'all. You don't see a lot of this from Western studios. I'm not talking about Eastern studios, because I think they do a pretty damn good job. But I'm talking about Western studios, because these Western studios are pretty much white owned. Most of them are white owned. They don't want to see us like this, even when it comes to black men. When it comes to black men in society, in order for us to be accepted, we can't be hyper masculine. We can't be super masculine. We're too intimidating. So in order for us to be accepted in a lot of these spaces, whatever like that, they have to tone down our masculinity. They have to tone down our testosterone. They have to beat us down just a little bit, and so we don't look threatening, so we don't make them feel threatened. And that's the only way it's acceptable, which is why we have effeminate black men in a lot of media right now, and why they make a lot of us gay and trans and all this other type of stuff, is because they don't want to see us masculine at all. But as I said before, this is affecting everybody, not just black people, but apparently the only reason why Del Walker was able to get a taste of this, because now it affects his people. Now when it affects his people, now he's waking up. And I'd much rather it happen that way than to not happen at all. Del Walker finally gets the idea, and I'm going to say this to all you guys and ladies in this video. Have to create your own. Start going out there. We live in a day and era where technology is so advanced, where you don't need to go to college to get a college degree. You don't even have to spend money. There's plenty of software out there that is for free that allow you to design your own game. We already talked about it here on this channel. iCode, a female game designer who started the game by herself and still working on the game by herself. Of course, she has some music composers composing it and everything like that, but it's just her doing the design. And now it's coming out to PlayStation 5 and Steam and all these other consoles and stuff like that, which is also pretty awesome. Like I said before, we also have Runa that's also coming out, Spine that's coming out, and the list goes on and on of all these different games made by independent developers. These people have passion and love what they do and want to create something that they enjoy and hopefully other people enjoy. I'm gonna steal an example. You see my shirt, Venus Orion Comics, my comic book company. Been working on this 3 years. I put about like $30,000 of my own money to craft my own comic book universe that I can't wait to reveal at the end of this year to you guys. And when I launch it, you don't understand. I've been at this for a long time, and in the excitement that I talk about this, I live, eat, sleep, and breathe this. Everything you see right here is all my own stuff. Because the thing is, I'm going to be real with you. I'm kind of happy that this woke shit was going on. I'm kind of happy. Let them burn this shit to the ground. If our game studios, if Hollywood don't want to listen to us, let them burn it to the ground. Let these people have this. Let them burn it. Because guess what? Because they did this, it got me up off my lazy ass to go back and fulfill my destiny, fulfill my dreams, to create the things that I want to create. This is all I want to do now. I wake up every day, eat, sleep, and breathe Venus and Ryan Comics, and I can't wait to share it to the rest of you guys. And if you have dreams, you have inspirations, aspirations, and things like that that you want the world to see, you need to work on it, because a dream is only a dream, and it's dead as long as it stays in your head. You have to manifest it. You have to bring it to life. So you got to stop doing what you're doing. Get off the internet. Go outside. Meet people physically, network and everything. But you got to get to work. You got to stop binge watching anime. You got to stop spending 40 to 50 hours on video games and everything like that. You got to stop beating your dick to hentai or porn or whatever like that, and actually get to fucking work and work on shit that's going to push you forward and take you to a whole new plateau, a whole new frontier of your life. And you're going to turn around and say to yourself, man, I never knew that I was capable of this, because you remove the distractions. There's too many distractions right now in society. This culture war stuff, which I'm going to talk a whole nother video about the culture war and the current state that it's in and how I feel about it. But this is a perfect example right here of the other side finally waking up, and it had to take that his own people is getting affected for him to actually see this shit. But it's a step in the right direction, and hopefully more of my people wake the fuck up. Black folks, my people, I'm talking to my people right here, right now. You can't rely on corporations to represent us the way we want to be represented. We don't have no power, we have no control over that. It's their money, it's their corporation, it's owned by them. They're going to represent us how they see us and how they want to portray us. We can't control that shit. So instead of bitching and complaining, crying and being upset, you got to go out there and do those things. And there's a lot, it's plenty. When it comes to the industry, I got a bunch of different comics from different people. Girl with the Mega Fist. And of course, the most popular one I've been seeing recently is, of course, Common America, which I also collected the special edition. I've been collecting a ton of different books, and then of course Project Noasis that I've also been collecting as well. But for my brothers and sisters out there, you have to go out there and you have to do something instead of bitching and complaining. And I've been supporting a lot of black creators, and even in the comic book space, even when it comes to the Tuskegee Heirs, love it, finished both issue 1 and 2, and then also of course we have the other one, the Story of Solace and stuff. It's really, really good. There's a lot here and stuff like that. And I also got the poster. You want to be represented? Represent yourself. This is amazing artwork from black creators. They want to see themselves represented in a way, instead of allowing these corporations, mainly these Western corporations that's owned by white people, to represent us. We represent ourselves. This is some good artwork right here. I had to buy this. I had to have and I met the creator of the series at the convention and everything, and he signed it and everything. And this is really, really cool. This is how I want to also see my people as well. We can do it. You just gotta go out there and put out the work and stop being a fucking victim. Stop being a victim. That's all it takes. Stop being a fucking victim. And I've been collecting a lot of comic books and indie comics, and it's a lot of us brothers and sisters out there. I've been collecting a lot of black comics and been supporting a lot of black brothers and sisters that's been doing their own thing. That's been pretty much putting out great content that people can be able to enjoy and do. And more specifically, most people know Eric July and his Rippaverse universe. I've got my first entry with Yaira and everything like that now and everything. But you have to go out there and you have to work. You have to bust your ass. You can't stop. You can't keep complaining and wanting companies to validate you or force you to be, or force acceptance. You can't do that. You got to go out there and work for yourself. And me traveling, going to different conventions, I've been meeting a lot of black creators, and they've been doing their thing. They've been going out there and they've been shaping and forming their own destiny. And I try my best to support a lot of these black creators as well as other creators outside of the black community as well. But they are doing something. They're not bitching. They're not complaining. They got tired of seeing how they've been represented within the industry, and they stopped doing what they stopped working for them and started working for themselves, and they represent themselves the way they want to be represented. See, the thing is, I understand the pain. I understand, as a black person, there's been a lot of struggle that we have been going through in our life and stuff. And yes, I acknowledge those problems and stuff. The only difference is when it comes to me, I don't make that shit my identity. I don't make myself a victim to that shit. I don't make that into a crutch. I look at the shit that we go through as a people, and I see it like, okay, these are just obstacles that I have to get by. How can I navigate through this? How can I get by this? How can I overcome this? And to be able to shape myself into a person that I want to be. And that's what I've been doing. And it's sad that I always get backlash, and I've always been getting a lot of hate from people who look like me, because people think I'm trying to appease white people somehow, when I'm not. I love my people just as much as the next person does or whatever. I just want the best for my people, but I also want them to work hard and stop making themselves into fucking victims and stuff like that. And looking at Del Walker, he said it himself, I'm going to make my own studio. And that's what I want to see my people do. I want them to stop being victims and go out and actually be proactive and do their own shit, because we can do it. We have the capabilities of doing it. Black people are very talented. We have a lot of shit going on for us. We just got to get out of our own way and actually do something or whatever like that. But that pretty much wraps up this video. Yes, I'm glad that it had to take this situation right here for the other side to actually fucking get it. But as I said before, it's happening all across the board. Female characters and the feminine is under attack. It's under attack. It's not a conspiracy. It's actually going on. And there's so many evidence, there's so many receipts to show what they're doing. You gotta wake the fuck up. If you don't wake the fuck up, women always talk about being oppressed. That's the funny part. Women are always talking about being oppressed. But when it comes to shit like this, like most of these feminists, they don't say shit. They quiet about this. They're destroying femininity. They're destroying it. And y'all so fucking quiet about it. In fact, y'all rallying behind this type of nonsense. That's the thing that boggles my mind. But that pretty much wraps up this video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button, the notification bell for more gaming content here on this channel. This is MugenLord signing off. I'll see you game fiends later. Peace out.